Stupendous Wave, a well-known Star Wars YouTuber, has garnered a large following with his videos discussing various aspects of the Star Wars universe, from the lore and characters to theories and fan speculation. However, when closely examining the content, there are several factors that contribute to the perception of low-quality material produced by this channel. One of the most significant shortcomings in Stupendous Wave's content is the lack of depth in his analysis. While his videos often touch on intriguing topics within the Star Wars universe, such as the history of the Sith, the motivations of specific characters, or the power dynamics of the Jedi and Sith orders, they tend to skim the surface rather than delve into the complexities that make these subjects truly engaging. Stupendous Wave frequently opts for a surface-level summary of established Star Wars lore rather than offering a critical examination or unique perspective. For example, when discussing a character like Darth Vader, the focus often revolves around well-trodden points: his tragic fall to the dark side, his immense power, and his ultimate redemption. While these aspects are central to Vader's character, they are already common knowledge to even casual fans. Instead of exploring lesser-known aspects of Vader's psychology, philosophical implications of his choices, or in-depth comparisons to similar mythological figures, the videos rarely go beyond reiterating what is already widely understood. Star Wars is a franchise filled with moral ambiguity, political intrigue, and philosophical depth, particularly in the prequel trilogy and supplementary materials like the Clone Wars series and extended universe novels. Stupendous Wave's videos often fail to address these nuanced aspects. For instance, the Jedi Order's flaws and their role in Anakin's fall are rich topics for discussion. Yet his coverage often reduces these themes to binary good versus evil narratives. This oversimplification overlooks the layered storytelling that makes Star Wars so enduring and leaves viewers wanting more thoughtful commentary. Instead of crafting analyses that challenge or reinterpret Star Wars canon, Stupendous Wave often sticks rigidly to recounting events as they appear in the movies, shows, and books. While summarizing canonical material can be helpful for viewers unfamiliar with certain stories, it rarely adds value for dedicated fans who are already well-versed in the franchise. By failing to critique or offer alternate interpretations, the content risks becoming little more than a regurgitation of existing material. When compared to other Star Wars YouTubers, such as Star Wars Explained or The Lore Master, Stupendous Wave's lack of depth becomes even more apparent. These channels often provide well-researched and balanced analyses that go beyond the surface, incorporating information from the Star Wars expanded universe, legends, canonical references, and real-world influences. This contrast highlights how Stupendous Wave's content feels relatively shallow, especially to viewers seeking a more sophisticated understanding of the Star Wars universe. While casual fans might appreciate the simplicity of Stupendous Wave's content, more experienced viewers often feel alienated by the lack of intellectual engagement. Star Wars fans are known for their passionate debates and detailed knowledge of the franchise, and content that fails to meet their expectations for depth can be disappointing. For a channel with such a large following, the expectation is that it should cater to both newcomers and longtime fans by balancing accessibility with intellectual rigor. The lack of depth in analysis significantly undermines the quality of Stupendous Wave's content. By focusing on summaries over critical insights, oversimplifying complex themes, and neglecting the rich historical and philosophical influences behind Star Wars, the channel fails to reach its full potential. Addressing these shortcomings would not only enhance the viewing experience for his audience, but also solidify his reputation as a leading Star Wars YouTuber capable of delivering content that is as thought-provoking as it is entertaining. One of the most pervasive criticisms of Stupendous Wave's content is his reliance on clickbait titles and sensationalist framing to attract viewers. While this strategy is common on YouTube and often effective in driving views, it undermines the integrity of the content and creates frustration among his audience. Let's examine this issue in detail. Clickbait titles are designed to capture attention by making exaggerated or misleading claims. For example, titles such as Darth Vader's Secret That Changed Everything, or The Jedi Order's Biggest Mistake Finally Revealed, promise groundbreaking revelations that often fail to deliver on the intrigue they generate. These titles create an expectation of uncovering new or transformative insights, yet the actual content often recycles established knowledge or presents minor details as though they are earth-shattering discoveries. This disconnect between the title and the video content can lead to a feeling of being duped, as viewers are lured in by sensational promises that rarely materialize. Stupendous Wave frequently sensationalizes otherwise straightforward elements of Star Wars lore. For instance, a minor detail about a character or event may be framed as something that completely changes Star Wars, or proves everything we thought was wrong. While this phrasing generates intrigue, the content typically reveals that the supposed revelation is either speculative or inconsequential in the grand scheme of Star Wars canon. For example, a theory about how a character could have survived a seemingly fatal event might be framed as Palpatine's secret plan to cheat death exposed, only to present vague conjecture supported by tenuous connections in canon. This approach exaggerates the significance of the material and can leave viewers feeling misled. Another hallmark of Stupendous Wave's clickbait strategy is the use of emotionally charged language, such as heartbreaking, shocking, or devastating. These words appeal to the audience's curiosity and emotional investment in the Star Wars universe. However, the content often fails to justify this emotional framing. For example, a video titled "The Most Heartbreaking Death in Star Wars" may turn out to discuss a relatively minor character whose demise is well documented and lacks the emotional weight implied by the title. This overuse of dramatic language diminishes the impact of genuinely significant moments in Star Wars lore. Stupendous Wave leans heavily on speculative what-if scenarios, which are often framed as definitive answers or hidden truths. Titles like "What If Mace Windu Survived? The Truth About His Fate" suggest that the video will provide new information or evidence. But these discussions are purely speculative and rarely grounded in canonical material. While speculation can be an engaging aspect of fan discourse, the way it is marketed on the channel creates a false sense of authority, leading some viewers to mistake these theories for canon or credible insider knowledge. Clickbait titles and sensationalism can erode trust between a content creator and their audience. Over time, viewers who repeatedly feel misled by exaggerated claims may begin to view the channel as unreliable or inauthentic. This is particularly problematic for a Star Wars YouTuber, as fans of the franchise often seek credible sources for accurate lore and insightful discussion. For newcomers to the channel, the initial appeal of clickbait may draw them in, but the lack of substance behind the sensational titles risks alienating them as they realize the pattern. Loyal fans, too, may grow disillusioned when the content fails to meet the expectations set by its marketing. Stupendous Wave's clickbait-heavy approach contrasts sharply with other Star Wars creators who prioritize accuracy and transparency in their content. Channels like Star Wars Explained or Ickhart's Ladder often use straightforward, descriptive titles that reflect the actual substance of their videos. While they may not generate as many initial clicks, these creators build trust and credibility with their audience, which leads to sustained engagement and a more loyal fanbase. The overuse of clickbait and sensationalism contributes to a broader problem in Star Wars fandom: the spread of misinformation. Many casual fans rely on YouTube as their primary source of Star Wars lore, and when creators exaggerate or distort facts, it can lead to confusion about what is canon, what is legends, and what is purely speculative. This not only diminishes the quality of fandom discussions, but also undermines the reputation of creators like Stupendous Wave, as their content becomes associated with low-effort sensationalism rather than meaningful contributions to the community. Stupendous Wave's reliance on clickbait titles and sensationalist content is a double-edged sword. While it helps him achieve high view counts and attract casual viewers, it ultimately undermines the quality of his channel and alienates more discerning fans. By prioritizing short-term gains over long-term trust, the channel risks losing credibility within the Star Wars community. To improve, Stupendous Wave could adopt a more honest and nuanced approach to titling and framing his videos, focusing on delivering content that truly matches the expectations set by his marketing. A common criticism of Stupendous Wave's content is its repetitive nature, which makes the channel feel monotonous over time. While it's understandable for a Star Wars-focused channel to revisit popular topics occasionally, Stupendous Wave frequently recycles ideas, discussions, and even specific phrasing, leading to a sense of stagnation. This issue becomes especially apparent for longtime viewers who may feel that they are watching variations of the same video over and over again. One of the most noticeable aspects of Stupendous Wave's repetitive content is the over-reliance on a narrow range of topics that have high click potential. For example, videos about Darth Vader, Palpatine, or the Jedi Order dominate the channel's catalog. While these figures are undeniably central to Star Wars lore, the repetition of similar discussions, such as Darth Vader's secret power, why Palpatine feared XYZ, or the Jedi's greatest mistake, gives the impression that the channel is recycling ideas to maximize views rather than exploring the breadth of the Star Wars universe. For instance, multiple videos might speculate on Palpatine's contingency plans or Vader's potential had he not been injured, but the discussions often fail to bring new insights or perspectives. Instead, they feel like slight variations on content the audience has already seen. In many cases, the videos are not only repetitive in terms of topics, but also in terms of the actual content. Stupendous Wave has a tendency to present the same information across multiple videos with only minor changes in phrasing or presentation. For example, a video discussing the Sith's Rule of Two might reappear in a slightly altered form, such as why the Rule of Two is the key to the Sith's success, or how the Rule of Two doomed the Sith. Despite the new title, the core content often remains the same. This recycling can leave viewers feeling as though they are being fed the same material repeatedly, with little effort made to expand or deepen the discussion. The Star Wars universe is vast, encompassing multiple eras, countless characters, and a rich tapestry of interconnected stories across canon and legends. However, Stupendous Wave tends to focus disproportionately on certain well-known aspects, such as the Sith, especially Palpatine and Vader, the Jedi, often framed as flawed or hypocritical, hypothetical scenarios, e.g., what if X survived? While these topics are undoubtedly appealing to fans, they represent only a fraction of what the Star Wars universe has to offer. Rarely does the channel explore lesser-known characters, obscure Legends material, or deeper dives into world-building elements like planetary cultures, non-Sith dark side users, or the political intricacies of the Republic and Empire. This narrow focus not only limits the creative potential of the channel, but also contributes to a sense of monotony for viewers who crave diversity in content. The repetitive nature of Stupendous Wave's content is a significant flaw that detracts from the overall quality of the channel. By sticking to a narrow range of topics, frequently recycling material, and relying on formulaic structures, the channel risks alienating its audience and stagnating in a highly competitive space. Addressing these issues by diversifying content and delving deeper into unexplored aspects of Star Wars lore would not only improve the channel's reputation but also reinvigorate its appeal to both casual and dedicated fans.